like to make it here, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out.
The Saints take over first down 10 at their own 19-yard line. Ready!
Jameis going to look to throw right away. Finding Taysom Hill complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Graham has puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
And I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Winston's throw caught by his receiver Hill. And out across midfield down to the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, but sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line. For a touchback. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And this first play will get them back to the 25, but that's going to be it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And again, it's Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
From the 27, Watson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
17-0 our score after 1. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On the counter, here's Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Again, it's Kamara. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they got the turnover in great field position, but unable to do anything with it, and they're left taking the easy 3 on the field goal.
Yeah, you're right about that. A great chance at a short field touchdown. On a sudden change, you take the ball away. You expect your offense to put into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 for now, even if they feel just a little bit let down.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Out of the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Chubb try the middle here. Ooh, the juke. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Watson complete to Bryant. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Now Watson going to sneak it, and he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Third and short yardage, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
This will be fielded at the 17. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter. But you're
don't
down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Good work after the catch gets him 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the 50, it's Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football. While we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's got room. 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are able to add on to their first half lead. Lutz with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa.